Hey guys, welcome to the Canyons. It's a good day for a drive here, and this is a really cool car to take that drive in. This is the Shelby Daytona Coupe, built by Superformance. This one is CSX 9114. It is a Daytona Coupe replica, turnkey. You buy it just as is. You don't have to build it yourself or anything. It's 2,600 pounds. It has a fiberglass body. It has a 550 horsepower Roush Racing V8, 5-speed gearbox, 4-piston Willwood brakes, independent rear suspension with a 373 ratio, 17-inch Halabrand wheels. It has power windows. It has some creature comforts, and it's not totally uncomfortable. I actually owned a Superformance Cobra along with my friend Larry when we had our New York Motor Club detailing business back in the day, and I stupidly thought that I wanted a race car engine, and he agreed with me, and we had one of these with a NASCAR motor in it, and it was scary as can be. So let's hope this one's a little more civil and fun. Turn the key, you press the immobilizer, and then fire up. Oh yes. That sounds good. Side pipes are always welcome. Release the handbrake. And what do you say we go for a little cruise, huh? Clutch is pretty light. My feet are kind of big and clunky, so it's interesting to get them in here. And we're off. Listen to that. This is probably going to take a little bit of getting used to, so we're going to start by doing a little getting to know you warm-up. This actually has power steering. I don't know where the rack is out of, but unlike the Roadsters, the Coupe does have power steering. So far, civil, actually. Has a nice ride. See how the brakes are. Their power-assisted pedal is very tight. Heel-toe shifting is going to be an impossibility here because the pedals simply don't line up, and such is life when you're driving old cars. Wow, it took that bump really nicely. All right, 3,500, 4,000. Let's open it up and see what it is. That's great. Good strong power. Feels like a nice little touring car. This car is 165 grand as it sits, fully built, delivered to Southern California. You're gonna love my use of the term on-center steering here. It's very direct in the first few degrees of steering. Nice strong power in the mid-range, which you could probably have guessed, with 550 horsepower. The engine's a 351 Windsor, but it's actually been bored and stroked out to a 427. So big cubes and a small cube package. Wow, there ain't nothing wrong with a set of side pipes on a car like this. That is fantastic. I really wish there were a different pedal box, because I imagine heel-toe downshifts would be amazing, but the pedals just don't line up. Surprisingly refined in here. I've got the vents going, air conditioning actually. I've just realized it's cranking nice and cold. Not a whole lot of wind noise coming through here. Really good throttle response. Wow, it's quite enjoyable. You got to get used to the tight brake pedal. Brake pedal doesn't have a whole lot of travel. Wow, this is very good. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'd actually like to go on kind of a road trip in something like this. There's a big trunk back there. They showed up here with an extra wheel in the back, and it's nice. Just the thumping of that side pipe right out the door. Oh my God. Guessing the red line's around 7 grand. That's sort of where the tax stops. Actually, it stops at 8. We'll see if we can find that one out. Whee! Very direct on the turn in. have been updated. You know, it's a tube frame, the independent suspension, Bilstein coilovers. It's got all the right hardware. But fundamentally is an older design. See, I can't reach the gas pedal, the downshift there. I wanted to downshift and I couldn't do it. So you do have to recalibrate your brain. Oh, this is amazing. What a cool car. And yeah, 165 grand is a lot of money for a replica of anything. But when you consider the real ones are like 10 million, you know, what are you going to do, right? The only thing I really didn't like, well, there was a lot of things I didn't like about our Cobra, but the only thing I didn't like about having a replica Cobra is the first question anyone always asks you is it real? And the answer is always no, unless you happen to be one of very few people that have very expensive cars. See, now me and this thing are vibing. We're having a good time now. Cyclist. Back on the power. Shifter gates are nice and tight. It's just a T5 gearbox like my Fox body, but it's a brand new one, so it's really, really good and notchy. It's got a nice tight shifter. I love the forward angled shifter. It really puts the lever exactly where you need it to be. I don't think this would get old, honestly. Definitely old school horsepower, old school power delivery. As I look for a place to turn around, you know, you drive a car with 550 horsepower that's a brand new design, and there's a more modern feel. It feels like it gets more of it to the ground, if I'm honest, but that doesn't make this thing less awesome. Oh, looks like we found the car club. What's up, guys? How you doing? All right, and we're off. Just the pulses of the engine making their way into the cabin. I'm very impressed at how little wind noise gets in here, honestly. I thought it would be a leaky, just a leaky mess, but these seals are fairly solid. Right here. You gotta do some extra fancy footwork there. Uh-oh. What's going wrong here? Felt like it slipped out of gear there. Huh. Okay, there we go. I think that was in my head. Maybe. Maybe not. Well, this is certainly enjoyable. The view out of the hood. Not enough people talk about how great a good view out of the hood is, you know. And this is, you know, I feel like Dan Gurney in this. That's a nice way to be. Surprisingly few sacrifices, actually. You get a vintage motoring experience, but with new parts. Just leave it in third and see how you use the torque to get out of the corner here. It's got just so much power all over the power band, you don't have to wind it out, but it seems like 3,000 to 5,000 RPM is really the sweet spot for canyon cruising. If you're on the track, certainly use more, but they take these things to the racetrack, though. got all the information I need coming through the many gauges. Well, how do you not love this? You really got to respect guys like Bob Bondurant that won Le Mans in these cars. Oh my God. This is, you want to say when men were men, but the truth is it's when men were just insane. Boy, am I enjoying this. It's hard to get used to these brakes. There's just not much pedal travel. And even though they are assisted, they have a truly manual brake feel in terms of the modulation. Maybe even a smaller master cylinder, or it's similar to my Mustang where there's just not much pedal travel and a lot of brake boost coming. Fantastic. Go on the grandest of tours in this car. I'm really able to just leave it in third. I'm sorry about that cut. I saw rocks. I don't know if they were really there or not, but I saw them. I don't think I'll ever get used to this sound. It would always be pretty magical. That was my favorite thing about our Cobra, the side pipes. And actually, the chassis is surprisingly rigid. The body is surprisingly rigid. Not a lot of squeaks and rattles. This car has about 3,000 miles on it, so it's been more, well, a little vibration from the shifter there, but it's been pretty nicely broken in and dialed in. Just a little bit. They are adjustable, but for a drive like this is pretty bang on. It really takes these bumps and settles nicely. There's nowhere to put my left foot actually. The clutch pedal and where the header comes out the side takes up all of that room. So downside number one, I guess, is that after a half hour or so, my left leg would be killing me just holding this position. If you're a lot shorter or smaller than me, that may not be a problem for you. I really start vibing with the car. Oh, but this is fantastic. I mean, are there other ways to spend 165 grand and get this much or more performance? Yeah, probably. You could buy a used McLaren for that all day, every day, and not even think twice. On the other hand, you know, if you're about that classic feel, that classic look. How's the turning radius? Oh, it's good. If you're about a classic feel and look, but you don't have $20 million for a real one of these, you could do worse, certainly. There are those cyclists. time for me to end. This was super cool. Thank you to the guys at Superformance for giving me this opportunity. And I really like this thing. It's really, really good fun, and it's quick and has a great vintage vibe. Okay, vintage vibe to it. It's really neat. And if you know if you want one of these by looking at it, you can just tell. And it's very cool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.